Black American men are the most critically judged people in the fucking universe. And that's for real. No one else is judged as critically as Black American men are. Black American men, we're the only ones in the society who are judged. Like white men, they have privilege. So what white men do is never judged because they have privilege. White men can do whatever they want, dress however they want to. You know, white men could be lazy, not be on his purpose or anything, and no one will call him out on it. You know, white men can do whatever, right? They get a pass. Women are in the same boat as white men. Women, just naturally, women, they're not going to be judged like how a man is, you know, because women naturally are weaker. They're not leaders. So no one's watching over women and expect women to do this or do that, to do this, you know. Women are the weaker vessel, and so they get a pass, you know. So women, they can do whatever they want, and no one is really going to critique them. You know, women do get critiqued in certain ways, but you know, not as much as black men are. Then you have your other races of men besides white men, Latino men, Indian men, Arab men, Chinese men, Asian men. Those types of men, I'm not trying to be offensive, but those types of men are naturally, they're weaker. You know, most Hispanic men and Indian men and Asian men are naturally beta men, lower ranked males, as you should call them. So people don't have high expectations for lower ranked males, right? If you're a beta male, people won't have high expectations for you. You know, so since people won't have high expectations for a beta male or a lower ranked male, you know, people don't expect you to be making all these moves and leading other people. They don't expect a beta male to be extra charismatic or anything like that. So people won't judge you off of those standards because that's not a beta male's or a lower ranked male's potential. And a lot of Hispanic men and Indian men and Asian men are naturally not alpha men. They're not naturally strong men physically and just energetically and by their demeanor. You know, that's why a lot of these Hispanic men and Indian men and Asian men, a lot of them, they hate on black men because black men are naturally stronger than them, you know. So if you're a weaker male, people are not going to have high expectations, and therefore they're not going to be judging you for every little thing that you do because they don't expect you to be on shit. You feel me? So at the end of the day, the only group of men who, the only person really who gets judged critically for every little thing that he does is black men. Black American men, especially black American men who are under the age of 30 or appear and come off or carry themselves like they're under the age of 30. When you're a black man who's youthful between the ages of like 25 and 30, that's when every little thing you do is judged so critically. It's like, and I could give you guys some examples from my own experiences. It's like a lot of times when I meet people, the first thing that they say to me is something coming out their mouth of being critical of me. Oh, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be at work, or are you just working? Or are you working on a project, or what are you doing? Well, are you just out in this town because you have a job, or is it like when I come across random people and I have conversations with them, the first thing they do is be critical of me. Not hi, what's your name? How are you doing? How's your day going? None of those questions, but they come out their mouth to be critical of me. And there's a difference between asking somebody a question and being critical of that person. You know, being critical is like a harsh judgment, usually to find a flaw against someone, right? And I guess it's the type of black man I am. You know, I'm not the thug type of black man, you know. So if you're a black man who's a thug, people are not going to be critical of you as much because a thug black man, you know, people don't expect a thug black man to be on shit. So they're not going to be critical of a thug because they already know a thug most likely isn't going to be on the high level of manhood as far as being on his purpose. So why even waste the time being critical of a thug? You know, a thug is on the street gang banging, selling drugs, you know, so a thug is not even in that category to be judgmental and critical of. But I'm not a thug. I don't carry myself like a thug. I'm not no lame ass nigga either. I'm not no lame ass nigga, but I'm not no thug. I'm not no street dude, right? I'm I'm the type of black man who carries himself like I'm on my purpose. I'm not a nerd, but I'm not a street dude, like I said earlier. But I carry myself well. I carry myself like I can potentially lead someone, and I carry myself like I have potential. You know, I'm a quality black man, and people can see it on me how I look and how I carry myself. And I'm the type of black man who people expect to be doing something, to do big things. You know, people judge you off of your potential, especially as a black man. If people see you as a black man, as an individual black man who has a whole lot of potential, then they're going to be critical of you, especially if you're a younger black man, right? Because physically, evolutionary, you know, when you're in your mid 20s to early 30s, as a man, that's when you're the strongest. That's when you're the most capable, just physically, genetically, when you're in your mid to early 30s. So if you're a black man, you're in that age range of 25 to 30. That's when you're supposed to be the most physically capable, right? So people expect you to be making moves, to do great things in life, especially if you're a black man who carries himself like you're on the right path. And in today's society, you don't see a lot of quality black men walking out and about. When I go outside and I look around, a lot of times I see bum ass black men who look homeless, black men who just look broken and beat down by society. And when you're a black man who comes off as strong, right? not broken, and you come off as you're a smart dude, you're young, you're smart, you're on the right path in life, people might get thrown off by that type of black man because they're not used to seeing that type of black man on a regular basis, right? People are not used to seeing functional black men on a regular basis. They're just not. Because the black community, we're in a horrible shape right now. The black American male is endangered, whether you like it or not. So I come off as a functional black man, you know, functional black men who are young, functional, dark skinned black men. We are an extreme minority. A young, functional, dark skinned black man who's masculine, that's a rarity in today's society. You know, who's not a thug, who carries himself nice, that type of black man is a rarity in the society. So when people see that type of black man, they get thrown off guard. They're like, huh? We're not used to seeing that type of black man, a young, functional black man who's masculine and he's dark skinned too. He's not a thug either. I'm like, oh shit, we're not used to seeing that black man. They're not. So they get thrown off. They're like, let me ask this brother if he goes to school or is he working, because I'm just curious because I just want to see if he's really that type of brother that I perceive him to be. So they'll ask you, do you work? Do you go to school? And things like that. But part of it is because they want to see if you're the real thing or not, you know, because there's real gold and there's fool's gold. So if I say I don't work, I don't go to school, I'm not on my purpose, then they're like, oh, if I say I'm not on my purpose, when they ask me, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's not real gold. That's fool's gold. Oh, he ain't really what I thought he was." But they're asking just because they're curious, but at the same time, you know, in this racist society that we're in, they're being critical of you as a functional black man, partially because they're curious, partially because they're on some racist, I'm trying to tear you down bullshit too. Because there ain't no reason why you should ask a grown ass man if they work or go to school. Like, what the fuck? I'm a grown ass man. Why do you have to be critical of a grown man for? I know what I want to do in my life. You don't have to ask me what I'm doing. Motherfucker, I do what I do. You feel me? It's like, so part of it is them trying to belittle you because motherfuckers are just racist, right? They're racist as they want to tear down a certain type of brother, you know? They don't want to tear down a dysfunctional black man, right? They don't want to disrespect the functional black. They don't want to disrespect the dysfunctional black man who aren't on shit, who don't have any potential because there's no point of doing disrespecting a dysfunctional black man because the dysfunctional black man is already downtrodden. So why kick a man that's already down? You know, they get it. They get the people in this racist society. They get an ego boost of tearing down and disrespecting a functional black man who carries himself like he's that shit, like he could be something, right? That gives these racist motherfuckers an ego boost, right? But also, you know, sometimes when I'm out in public, people will be like critiquing me, like, "Oh, what was you doing outside? What were you doing outside? Huh? Aren't you supposed to be in school? You should be in school. You should be working. You should be doing this." And part of that is because why I get that from people is because the black American male is endangered, right? Functional black men like me, who are young and masculine, that's a rarity, right? Most black men nowadays are broken and dysfunctional. So when people see a functional black man who's young, they want to make sure you're on the right path because there's not a lot of black men who are on the right path, right? So you as a functional young black man, you have to make up for all the niggas who ain't shit. You have to make up for all the niggas who ain't shit. So you, who is a functional black man, everything you do is being judged critically. You're always expected to be on your purpose. You can never just be outside casually. People damn near act like, as a functional black man, people damn near act like your existence is a taboo. Like you 24/7, you're supposed to be doing something that's that's to your purpose. You're supposed to be working at a job 24/7. You're never just allowed to be relaxed outside, sit down. Even if you sit down in one place. Like the other day, I was in my lobby, sitting down, and one of the managers of the lobby, they were telling me, "Oh, why are you just sitting down here? You should be at work." I'm like, "Motherfucker, is I'm a grown ass man." I didn't say it to him. I'm like, "I'm a grown ass man. I can make my own decisions." But I didn't say anything to him. And that's because the functional Black American male is so much a rarity that we're endangered as a race. So when you're a functional black man, you're kind of expected to make up for the niggas who ain't shit. So you constantly, in people's eyes, you constantly have to be producing something and working. Because functional men are the representative of a race. You know, your functional men are the leaders. Your functional men are the real alphas, right? So in a community that's endangered, like the black community, if people deep down inside see you as a leader or someone who can potentially be a leader, you know, they're going to push you or expect you to be doing certain things that are productive, right? But in the black community right now, we're endangered. So when you're a black man who's young and you come off as being productive and functional, you're damn near not allowed to breathe in some people's eyes. Like, what are you doing over there? You're supposed to be at work. It's damn near oppressive how people are. What are you doing at the park? You're supposed to be at work. You're supposed to be in school. Like, we don't realize as black men, we're so endangered that when you're one of the few black men who are functional left in America, you have the whole black community on your back. You have the whole black community on your back. And you're supposed to make up for the niggas who ain't shit. And you're supposed to be the one who constantly working and doing something productive. It's crazy. All right, you guys, peace.